The first tab, remember, we're going to do a tour across that top. The first tab is called Self-Discovery. This tab is packed with all of the assessments that are there to help your child learn more about themselves and how they learn. And it can also be helpful in helping students connect their learning style, their personality, their strengths to either a career or a career cluster. So I'm going to go briefly over the assessments that are available to all students 9 through 12. The middle school also has Naviance, but their program isn't nearly as robust. The only thing that the middle school students take under self-discovery in Naviance is the career cluster finder, this right here. So here's our first one, Achieve Works Intelligences. We do not assign that as a career readiness task. So students would have to be self-motivated or encouraged by their parents, gifted, or maybe their counselor to take that. What is it? It helps students uncover their different intelligences and explains how they can use them. This is the first career readiness lesson from our department. It's called Achieve Works Learning and Productivity. It helps students identify their preferences in learning, and then how can they apply that so that they can be their most productive. I consider this one of our most valuable lessons our department does with students, and that is completed in 9th grade. Now, if this was a true student's account, you as a parent could view the results. I took the assessment before today, and this is a very brief overview of what it shows, but you'll notice I reported that I enjoyed learning in bright light. Why is that important? Well, because students can ask then their teacher, could I sit by the window? I need to learn in quiet background. That's pretty important because other students may be self-reporting. They prefer to listen to music or have noise in the background, and that I am highly self-motivated. So that's just a very, very brief example of what you can see in that report. Achieve Works Personality, that's many students' favorite. They take an assessment and they identify their personality type by choosing different scenarios that best describe them. And then that report generates potential careers based on your personality. So kids have a lot of fun with that. You definitely, if you're the parent of a 10th or 11th grade student, they've taken that this year already. I encourage you to take a look at that. That's a really great report as well. And it's fun to research and click on the different careers. Achieve Work Skills helps students identify a skill. And again, the whole purpose is to match that with just ideas for particular careers for that student. We do not assign that. That's not part of any department here. That would be another assessment students could take independently. Strengths Explorer, same thing. That would be a student that's self-motivated, that wants to take that on their own. That also helps uncover talents and also potential strengths as they continue through high school. The purpose of doing that, a lot of students focus in high school, as many of us do. I can do this as well, honestly. And that is, a lot of us tend to focus on our weaknesses, not our strengths. We want to switch that mindset for students. Let's figure out what your strengths are. Let's work on that. And if you would bear with me for 1 minute, I'll share a story with you that I share at every classroom. What was perceived as a weakness for Mrs. Whalen in high school? My teachers, I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and my teachers would always say that I was, very nice and I was a good student, but that I talked too much. And my parents, God bless them, really were always so mad about that because they thought that was like a character flaw. And I'm laughing, as you can tell, because if only somebody in high school had bothered to take 5 minutes to say, since you love to talk too much, you ought to look at careers we're talking. Look at my career. I hope you're smiling with me. My career literally is to talk all day. I talk to strangers, I talk to colleges, I talk to businesses, I talk to students and parents and administrators. So what someone perceived as a weakness turned out to be my personal strength. So I just share, thank you for being kind and listening. Career interest profiler, we just completed that with juniors. So if you're a junior parent, oh my gosh, log into Naviance or ask your student to share their career interest profiler. That actually generates a list based on interests a student self-reports. So part of the results are important for you to know as a parent. We encourage students to take these assessments seriously, because the more serious they take them, the more honest they are, the better the results. In other words, every once in a while, students like to try and work together on these assessments. And we always say, hey, time out. We don't want your best friend answering this. We want you answering it.